this isn't a big-time player, but I think it's a big-time story in the NBA because he is a former high overall draft pick.
Stinks.
Yeah.
Oof.
And that's Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley was the second overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft. He was drafted over Luka. He was drafted over Trey. He was drafted over Jaren Jackson Jr., Colin Sexton, the list goes on. He was drafted over a lot of really talented players. And this season, he has only played 10 minutes. He refused to check in the other night. And I think it's about time Marvin Bagley gets traded. There are rumors that the Pistons are looking at trading for him last year. There were rumors about that, but the Kings wanted back Sadiq Bey, and the Pistons said, no way we're giving you Sadiq Bey for Marvin Bagley. But now talks are popping up again. So what team would you like to see Marvin Bagley go to? I just think I put up a list of teams that I think kind of fit him and he can get playing time on. The Blazers, the Rockets, OKC, the Pistons, and the Timberwolves. What team would you like to see Marvin Bagley go to?
Damn, I was going to say, Detroit embracing that rebuild. If Kelly Olynyk didn't get hurt, I would have said Sacramento is geared to try to make the playoffs. Olynyk, Bagley swap would have been cool for both teams. You get a young player for Detroit that can hopefully build with this young core, and then Sacramento gets a guy who can contribute to this team right now, who they're playing playoff basketball right now. That Timberwolves, I think, with that young core, Cat, you could learn with Cat, Pat Bev, he's got them boys, Ant Edwards, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, just a young, fun, exciting group that Marvin Bagley can go, have some fun, get the fun of basketball back to him. I think that would have been a different spot for him. Those two definitely would have been my spots. And it's interesting because I was reading some reports and Luke Walton said he wanted to go small this year. He wanted to try a smaller lineup. But it's like Marvin Bagley's kind of like a small ball big. The way he plays, he's mobile, he's agile, he moves well on his feet. He's athletic. So it's like he kind of fits that small ball big. He's not a big 6'10 to 6'11 guy. He's kind of lengthy, kind of skinny. So it's interesting that him dealing with a lot of injuries in the past 2 seasons and not making that significant jump like his other peers, like Ayton, like Luka, like Trae Young, not making that significant jump. I think that also affects his playing time. But at the same time, you got a guy who's young, who still needs, minutes to contribute. I think he was still an all right contributor enough to get some minutes. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Maurice Harkless is playing over him and stuff like that. Like, I think he at least can get some solid minutes in there with him. So I think the Timberwolves and the Pistons are definitely a spot for me because this is still a pretty significant young guy, a guy who's one of the best players in high school at his class, a guy who's one of the best players in college, and I think he has a lot left in the tank. He can still be a solid player in the league. He just needs the right environment. And Sacramento hasn't shown the ability in a long time that they have a great player development team, so I'm not surprised. I mean, they lucked out with De'Aaron Fox, but even Buddy Hield, he wants out. He still doesn't want to play. Davion Mitchell was still going to wait and see Halliburton. He looks good there, but they haven't shown the consistent ability to develop talent, so I'm not surprised.
I just want to reiterate this point. I haven't even mentioned this actually yet. You mentioned him being a small ball 5. Up to this point, Marvin Bagley has been one of the worst defensive players in the league. Not only defensive bigs, worst defensive players. He has a 117 defensive rating, which is one of the worst. So he's a horrible defender, so I don't know how beneficial it is playing him at small ball 5. And he's not a good free throw shooter. He shoots 57% from the line.
If I'm going to be honest, if he's not getting burned on Sacramento when they already have a need for his position, where is he really going to get burned? I'm looking here at the Pistons. Obviously, it makes sense. They don't have the most talent. I'm looking here at the Blazers as well, who probably could use a man at his position.
Really?
Yeah, they could. I mean, obviously,
they don't need more no defense.
Very true.
Larry Nance and Cody Zeller are there.
True. I don't know. They just haven't been doing that much either. I mean, if he really can't have success in Sacramento, what makes me think that he can go somewhere else and have success? I can understand that obviously a change of scenery can impact a player. We saw it with Julius Randle. We saw it with basically everyone who's left Los Angeles and gone to a new team. But I feel like that's a specific situation. And I'm looking at what he's done, and he's only regressed since his first season. Averaged 14.7 his first year, then averaged 14.2, then averaged 14.1. Now he's barely getting any burn. I just have a hard time putting faith in someone that can't have success with Sacramento and putting him in a different team right now and expecting him to to surpass that 14 clip. I feel as if he passes that 14 clip going to a different team, that's credit to Marvin Bagley. It would be a borderline miracle at this point.
This team that I'm about to say is going to really surprise you guys, but I think him on the Nets wouldn't be that bad. I really think him on the Nets wouldn't be that bad. I think the change of scenery, playing with players like James Harden, Kevin Durant, players that can get the most out of you, and then on top of that, like Nicholas Claxton, like he was our starting five.
He's better than Marvin Bagley.
I don't know about that, bro. I was
trolling. I
was about to say, yeah, because I wasn't too high on Nicholas Claxton this year anyway. I thought he was going to get much better.
I feel like every single Nets fan was so high.
They were high last year.
Everyone wanted Nicholas Claxton to get some
Claxton
burn.
ain't giving up no 117 defensive rating.
No, but I'm saying I think that's him playing unmotivated. He's already in his head. He's decided he doesn't want to play for Sacramento. I mean, he proved it the other day when he didn't check in the game.
You got De'Aaron Fox, and I'm sorry that you're giving your point. You have De'Aaron Fox as one of the cornerstones of the franchise to grow with you, and you don't want any part of that. De'Aaron Fox clearly showed that he could be one of the better scoring point guards in the league already. You had a chance to be a part of that and really grow together, and he's ascended while you have descended.
I don't know. I think
Go ahead. You just mentioned De'Aaron Fox, one player, for a reason why Marvin Bagley should be motivated.
You look at Buddy Hield. You still have another guy who has talent there.
He was in New Orleans.
It's like the reason why I'm not totally bought in on that statement is because
they both.
I don't know if any player is saying I got to play harder tonight because I have De'Aaron Fox. I don't think that's happening.
Why do you say that though?
Because that's not happening.
Because you look at Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. It's like DeAndre Ayton understands. Listen, I'm not what Booker means to this squad.
Ayton started playing better because of Chris Paul.
Good point. Fair enough.
Not Devin Booker.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Not Devin
That's a good
Booker.
point.
And De'Aaron Fox ain't no Chris Paul.
No, but De'Aaron Fox is a great scorer, obviously. I'm just saying
Chris
he's a
Paul
great
has
ball
a
player.
track history
of making players better.
Making the playoffs.
We're getting away from my initial point. All I'm trying to say is you had a young core in the making with De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, you add Halliburton to that mix. You have him. Rashawn Holmes is up there in age, but you added him into the mix as well. You had a very firm starting five, and you saw everyone else increase their level of play, and you just slowly but surely went on a decline. I don't understand how that correlated. You would think that...
Is that not the same thing that happened to Kuzma?
No, because Kuzma didn't have... Marvin Bagley did not have these guys just randomly put in, as in LeBron, Anthony Davis, where now his role is completely diminished. Marvin Bagley's role was not... He did that to himself.
I don't know. You go from 1 year with Dave Yeager, then going to Luke Walton.
True.
Luke Walton said he wanted to play small. Process. No, yeah, that's also been a big issue. Fair. Marvin Bagley has played in only 118 of 226 possible games. So he has missed about half of his games, basically. I was just speaking to your point about, I don't know that any player is wanting to play harder because of De'Aaron Fox.
But De'Aaron Fox is a dog. You say that, it kind of sounds disrespectful.
He's taking a step back this year.
No, because I am not talking about De'Aaron Fox as a player, as an individual player. He's a very talented player.
But he's on the squad already.
Yeah, but you're not going there saying I got to play hard for Fox.
I'm not. That's not how I meant to word it. I'm saying as alongside, like, yo, I have De'Aaron Fox,
who's improved,
who is a beast. I also, in my own head, am a beast.
Yeah,
why
but
isn't this working?
Me personally, if I'm back, I'm not thinking like that.
You're not thinking like I have someone that actually matches my talent level.
No offense. All right, I don't mean to do this, but I feel like I got to do this. No offense. Why do you think he's looking at De'Aaron Fox, somebody who's accomplished the same things as him, which is nothing?
No,
legit.
Whoa.
Why is he doing that? He's saying
never averaged over 25 points in his life.
I mean by like he's never been an All-Star. He's never been on an All-NBA team. He hasn't accomplished anything. So while he's looking at that and he's like, oh, I got to get better because he got better.
He's top 10 under 25 though.
Yeah, but he's a guard. Bagley's a big.
It's like, was Devin Booker an all-star up until last season? He barely made it.
But it's different, though. You can't compare. Well, first, you can't compare a guard to a big, and it's a different situation. And one guy has played only 100-plus games.
I wasn't comparing a guard to a big. All I was simply saying was, I have a guy in De'Aaron
Joe, I'm
Fox.
just gonna
I don't want to keep repeating this.
I'm just gonna ask this question.
I just keep thinking.
If you're on the Kings, and you're Marvin Bagley, or let's say you're yourself, you're Andrew Velez, you're playing on the team, you're a center on the team, whatever.
So in my head, I am the number 2 pick overall.
Yes.
I know I'm a beast.
Hold on. Let me just ask you this question. Are you, let's say somebody shoots a shot, you're playing defense, somebody shoots a shot, they miss. Are you going to box out better because De'Aaron Fox is on your team?
Yo,
I don't think.
nah, you guys are taking it too far. Yeah, taking it too far.
That's what
Yeah.
you're saying, bro.
I feel like
I don't think he's
I feel
saying
like
that.
coaching.
That's not what I'm
I feel like coaching is a much more. It's a much bigger factor of trying to play hard.
Well,
I
Into the
think
Nets.
all I'm
Like,
saying
into
is
the Nets would be
you
bad.
got more talent
I don't
on your
think
squad.
it'd be bad at all,
You
bro.
would think that with the more talent, it would benefit him. That's all I'm saying. I think you guys are misconstruing what I'm saying.
Runner.
It's the more talented the Kings got, the less talented he got.
It was a little bit. You worded it differently though.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Not really.
Because you said
did
you
understand what I
said
meant?
you
I
said
get what he's saying.
you were like, I'm Bagley and I'm looking and I'm like, we got De'Aaron Fox. Like
That's the only. You said they got talented.
No,
but
but
yeah,
I
that's the
said
only person.
I
you
said
named.
Halliburton. I said Rashawn Holmes. I mean, you guys slept on Harrison Barnes. He's been their best player up until this point, offensively at least.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
not
bro.
yet. I mean, he's dropping off since
Good.
that time.
I mean, he's still averaging 22 points.
Yeah, he had 25 the other night.
So again, there's talent on
No,
the
I
squad.
get what he's saying, bro. He's saying that like
No, I get what
the
you're
emergence
saying.
of
You're
De'Aaron
nitpicking.
Fox is like it should make him want to like propel himself as a
Motivate, like,
player
yeah, that's
to
it.
get better.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I get it.
Just I don't think the
Yo,
emergence
Joel.
of De'Aaron Fox is gonna make
be
somebody
bad.
better.
You're saying
Right?
it very disrespectful towards De'Aaron.
I just don't think an emergence of De'Aaron Fox is gonna make somebody any
Yo,
better.
so to my Brooklyn take with him playing with James Harden and Kevin Durant, do you think that would motivate him more?
I mean,
I think he needs to be in a
definitely.
situation like
no,
that.
I think
Definitely.
that's something.
Definitely.
Yeah,
No,
I want to get
Yo,
better
with
for James Harden
yeah,
and Kevin
he's
Durant.
MVP.
No,
You're
but I'm
picking
saying
he's
but
MVP.
he's a rim runner. He can run. He can catch lobs. You're playing with a team that's
Yes.
in win
Marvin
now.
Bagley will want to get better.
But
if
then,
he sees those
but then
guys.
after that, if James Harden decides to opt out and Kevin Durant leaves, he can be one of the young cores going forward. I don't
So-
think it's a bad move.
Your pick is Minnesota and Detroit.
yeah.
Your pick is the Brooklyn Nets, and your pick is you didn't have a pick.
no team.